Warning, the following may contain Krog. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, the team have received a hero's welcome into the Burgomaster's home, but realize they need to visit the nearby Vistani campsite to follow up on rumors of Irina being sighted there. However, they are meeting with some resistance from their host, who seems intent that they stay in town.
I'm going to pour Kellen a spittoon of Burgundy real quickly, just so he can calm him down a little.
Well, that went well. I turned to my friends.
I will quaff the spittoon.
Oh, God.
It went relatively well. I think we may have overdone it as the protectors of Valhalla.
Wow.
I think we're about right. I think that's about right. So, do you think they'll let us leave? Does anyone think that they're going to let us leave?
No, he won't let us leave. We're going
Well, that's what I think we should play it like we want to stay, and then they all go to sleep, and then we all crawl out our windows, and we all meet outside of town. All of us. I mean, all 3 of us.
What if I conjure the illusion of vampires and we chase them out of town? And people see us chasing the vampires and we're defending them as we...
I say we wait and see what the Baron has to say over dinner.
Oh, I can
Is that because
imagine.
you're hungry? Is that just because you're hungry?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. Master Suna, what do you think?
I would feel much more at ease if we were actually looking for Irina. I feel our fates are connected to her.
Yes.
Is there any way we can maybe subtly poke around the Baron's house, mansion, what have you, and
you mean do we have
use that we might want to pilfer?
Pilfer. Insofar as we have never done anything subtle in all our time together.
I'm not going to go through any drawers of women's clothing. I promise.
You know, I like that you now have to state that disclaimer before any adventure. I appreciate that.
So I agree with that. We can eat good food tonight and have a good night's rest in proper bedrooms, I hope.
We don't need rest. We've had recent rest. I say we lull them into, like, when the town sleeps, we leave.
But didn't you want to go to the tailor's tomorrow?
I was just trying to, like, make him feel at ease. Honestly, the tailors they have here are garbage. I don't know if you've seen what people are wearing around here, but really, it's just potato sacks sewn to tea cozies. There's nothing here that would fit.
Now, we were in.
So I say
we were in the gentleman's room. Are there any weapons hung on the walls?
No.
No. Can we just kind of search? I'm going to do a very subtle, quiet search of the room and just see if I can.
Oh my God!
Knocking entire tables over.
Yes.
Tearing paintings off the wall.
Yeah. So there's not. I mean, it seems to be this. Sorry. What's your rule?
I have to roll.
Yes. Investigation check.
Natural 20.
Okay. Right. Well, there aren't any cabinets of anything in this room. You've got obviously the bear on the wall. It's just a lot of seats and tables. There's actually no storage in the room at all. This is clearly a place where he takes people in to entertain them, and stuff is brought in to entertain them with. And actually, on that note, there's a wee rapping on the door, and Martha comes in. And she basically brings in what seems to be some kind of meat on some sticks. Some wee appetizers, basically, for you to... some kind
dipping sauce?
Some nice seasoning. No dipping sauce, unfortunately. But we've got some nice seasoning. Looks to be pork chunks, nicely seasoned, on sticks. Seems nice.
Martha, thank you so much. You deserve better. You deserve better. A night off! Here, get your next night off, you let me know.
Okay, she
Thank you.
just looks at you in confusion and nods and backs away. So
Once we have our meat sticks in hand, I gather everyone close.
Are we going to call them meat sticks? Can we call them skewers? All right, we'll call them meat sticks. Once we all have our meat sticks in hand and we get in a circle. Yes, continue.
You are a filthy, filthy animal, Jean Mallarmé. Once we have our aperitifs, I gather everyone close and I say, I believe Jean has the right of it. I think we should attempt to escape tonight. If we can requisition some horses, we can be at the Vestani camp, perhaps just before dawn, when we can strike at them when they're at their weakest, or at least prepared.
You know, what they have learned from you is if you say requisition, it is better than steal. And that I am going to remember, sir, as long as I live.
Well, the difference between nobility and thieves.
Too well when we've traveled at night, though.
Well,
That is true. That the barbarian makes a compelling point. No offense.
But we'd be moving at speed through the dark, through dense, tangled underbrush on horses. What could go wrong?
Okay.
With zombies everywhere.
Right over them, leap over them. I don't know. I mean, it's an idea, but I think it'd be easier.
I think that I do think
night
yes.
than in the morning.
I agree that we're going to have to leave at speed, and either it's in the morning or at night when everyone's sleeping, and that's when we work the best.
I think we could eat the Baron's fine cooking and sleep in a comfortable bed, but then we can all stand watch and leave before dawn.
Oh, there will be watches.
And then go.
Well, no, really, Dawn?
No, before dawn.
okay. There's a knock on the door, and it's Martha. Sticks her head in, and she says,
"Hello.
Hi. This is the call to dinner. Dinner is ready, and the Baron and his wife are waiting." And she opens the door, and she gestures across the hall. Across the hall is another open door, which seems to lead to some kind of dining room.
All right, Kellen, I just want to review the topics of discussion that we cannot broach, okay? Like maiming, killing dead animals, meat, skip all of it. Just, stay to, safe topics.
Can I do underarm farts?
Yes, if you must, but just call it, like folk music. Don't call it underarm farts.
Okay. So, are you...
So what have we decided?
You guys happy enough to head on in?
I think we're going to have dinner. We'll have dinner.
I see. So, so you lead through, guys, and the Baron and the wife are there. So this is a long rectangular table. The Baron is standing behind his seat at the top end of the table, and his wife, she's slightly taller than him, actually, an older lady, her with streaks of grey through her hair, very thin, very well dressed. And she is standing behind her chair at the other, and she greets you with a what seems to be a genuine, very well practiced smile, and she says, "Welcome, my guests. Please take your places at our table tonight."
Thank you.
So the table is obviously cutlery set there. There's each seat there already has a glass of wine at it. There are actually, other than the seats for the Baron and his wife, there are 8 seats there. And yes. Are you happy enough to sit down?
Yes, of course. Kel, if you need help with any of the spoons or the forks and knives, you let me know. They're all for very special uses.
So that means if there are 8 seats, that means that 2 are free?
Yes, that's right.
But are they are they decked out? So do they have
one of them is.
plates?
One of them is.
The sun.
The sun, right. But he's not.
They keep him in the basement where he cries out for meat.
So actually, as you sit down, after you sit down, the Baron and his wife begin to sit down, and actually, the Baron, says to his wife across the table, "My darling, will Victor be joining us tonight?" And she says, Darling, no, I'm afraid not. He is upstairs. He, again, is busy at work. And you can see again the Baron, he looks a wee bit put out by this, but he says, "Oh, do not matter, all is well. We do not have my son's presence again, but we do have the heroes of the Silver Dragon." And his wife gives a small clap, actually, one of the sort of, little, very quick sort of, not nervous, she is smiling. She said, "Oh, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted to have you here tonight with us. Thank you so much for what you've done for our small happy town."
And how did the pair of you meet? You seem like a wonderful couple.
The Baron says, "Look at that. Master of small talk as well. Lydia here and I, we've just grown up. Our families are. You've gotten to know Vallaki, I believe, over the last few days. There aren't that many high families here, so we've known each other for quite a while. I used to play with her brother before he joined the Order of the Morning Lord, and eventually our family suggested the match, and I couldn't really find anyone more suitable for me, could I, Lydia?" And she smiles and blushes a little bit.
Oh, she's delightful. She's delightful. So, what else can you tell us about the Silver Dragon, folks?
Oh, honestly, it's something I pulled out of my head. A stroke of inspiration. Yes.
Okay, so definitely not some sort of secret racist sect that has been underground for many years and now is re-emerging. Okay,
one of the many failures in the land to fight against.
Okay, all right, yes.
Back in the annals of history, it's not really my forte. You should ask Malik about that. Although, he's been acting very strange today. He seems to think that there's been some kind of magical coercion against him. But I told him, of course, the heroes of the Silver Dragon would never stoop to such a level. Eyeballs you as he says that.
Yes, no, we don't do that sort of thing.
No, I did not think you would realize that would be unbecoming of heroes. And then there's a knock on the door, and he says, "Isaac will be here to report in. Dear, you don't mind if we take this at the table, do you?" And Lydia says, "No, darling, not at all. And into the room walks somebody you have seen before.
Strahd.
No, not at all. This
Elvish bard.
No, not an Elvish bard.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
We could keep guessing, or I could just tell you that is. It is the horrific-looking man that you encountered in the town square, if you recall. Not him. Yeah, with the massively deformed arm that he had been at the time hiding under his cloak until he threatened Jean with it. This time, it remains under his cloak, and he comes into the room, glances at you. He doesn't seem to be surprised at all that you guys are sitting there, and he walks up to the Burgomaster, and he says, "We've managed to catch about 5 today. But that's all. So that's a record for the least amount of people in the stocks after one of your celebrations. A great success. Well done, sir." And the Baron says, "Oh, fantastic. I knew that the Festival of the Blazing Sun itself was a great idea, and our special guests here. None of this malicious unhappiness will be a thing of the past in Barovia." And the man who he addressed as Isaac, he says, yes, I think so. And he kind of turns to look at you, and Jean in particular sort of side glances at you, but he says, and then he turns back to the Baron.
I know my best friends have come from uncomfortable first glances, and I just want to say that they're, maybe we get off at the wrong foot, and you seem like a perfectly lovely person, and my apologies if I came off as someone who was in any way hostile towards you. You seem very nice.
And the Baron gives a big laugh at this, and he says, "Ha ha! Please, if Isaac was a nice person, I would not have him on my staff. This is the muscle behind the smile that rules Vallaki. This man, do not take offense at Isaac's demeanor. That is what he is here for. That is what he does best. Is that not right, Isaac? And Isaac, I just locked on Jean, says, yes. And turns back to the Baron, and he says, if that is all for tonight, sir, I would retire to my room. And the Baron says, go right ahead. I'll make sure Martha sends you something up once we're done. It doesn't look like Kellen's too hungry anyway.
There's some more meat sticks left, I believe. Yes, and there you go.
Skewers. We're calling them skewers.
Skewers.
I'll do the food for you.
And Isaac just nods in your direction once and turns and leaves. And the Baroness, she turns to the Baron and says, oh, when will he ever learn, darling? He says mannerism around guests is just terrible. But she's smiling the whole time. It's almost like this is a joke that she's having with her husband. And he says, I know, darling. You just can't find the people, can you?
Yeah, he seemed lovely.
Baron, what is with his arm?
Well, so he is a barbarian. I will remind everyone he is a barbarian. So
I don't know if you recall last time, guys, this sort of barbed monstrosity that the arm has, and I believe Jean he was able to sort of conjure fire with it. Is that correct? Like when you last saw it. And the Baron say, he again laughs, and his wife laughs along with him, and he says, this strange place, Barovia. It's just all these oddities keep popping up, and Isaac is an oddity into himself, and his arm is just an extension of his situation. Did you know when I first met him, he had no arm at all, and then it just seems to have appeared over time, and really that's when I noticed him, and when I noticed the fact that this arm had sprouted and he couldn't explain it himself, that's when I realized that was the man I had to have on my staff.
I had a mustache appear like that.
Was he a stranger to this land like we are?
Isaac? No, I believe he grew up here as a child. Lost his family in some horrific accident. Something like that. I mean, there's so many stories like that in Barovia. Didn't really pay attention.
He doesn't know where his arm came from?
Do you know, I haven't really had a big conversation with him about it. I found out what he could do with it, thought it was impressive, and realized I needed to have him working for me.
Because it would be rude to pry, I mean, once you meet someone,
I agree.
They have an eye that goes this way or a nose that goes this way. You don't point it out.
Exactly.
You just say,
exactly.
welcome.
Did you say, are you from nobility?
Of course, yes.
Interesting.
Yes,
I can see it. I can see it in your mannerism. Yes.
Yes. No, my cousins were married, and that's
No offense, Baron, but you've been a generous host, but you seem to claim ignorance about a great many subjects. The Silver Dragon Order.
Actually, he said that he made up the Silver Dragon Order.
He said it came from the annals of history, and it sounded like a bunch of nonsense.
So he looks at you, Kellen, and he's got the smile, and then his smile sort of freezes a little bit, and he fixes you. He's got his fork in his hand, holding it upright, and he says, "But what exactly are you saying to me?"
I feel like you're hiding things from us.
I don't feel that way.
So at the other end of the table, the Baroness gives a little gasp, and she sort of puts her cutlery down. The Baron continues to fix you with his stare, and he smile's gone now, and he says, "Really? And is that how you all feel about me after everything I have done for you in the short time that we've met?"
No.
You gave us appetizers.
No. See, so McGregor is like a very fine fellow on the battlefield, but at the dinner table, he does struggle, and so I would say that he does not necessarily speak for all of us. I think that we are very grateful for your hospitality. Yes. So let's all just agree to have another spittoon of wine, and maybe we can talk about something else.
And he glances to Lord Talfrin and to Master Sunna, and the two of you.
Well, I am a bit concerned why working with this man is one thing. Why would you house him in your own house? No, I'm sorry.
Manor.
Yes.
Would you shelve him upon your own shelf?
And he looks at Lord Talfrin, and you.
I believe that you have the interests of the citizens of Vallaki very close and dear to your heart.
And he looks back to Master Sunna, and he says, your friend here suggests that there are certain areas in which one does not pry, just as I have not done with Isaac and his arm. I also feel that how I organize my household is an area that is not for you to pry into either. Excuse me, darling. I feel I have lost my appetite tonight. And he stands up, and his wife sort of gives a little shake in her chair as he does so. And he says, I will retire to my den, and hopefully I will have recovered, along with my guests' manners, in the morning, when we can see about that tailor to get you all cleaned up. Good night.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yes. Good night. Good night. Lovely dinner.
The Baron walks out, and Lydia stays there, and she says, "Oh dear, okay, right." And she eats a wee mouthful of food as she sits there after the Baron has stormed out.
Can I do it?
John, this is your moment.
Or Jean?
What?
John or Lord Talfrin or Master Sunna, anybody but me.
Yes, that's literally true. I solicitously pass her the olive oil, and I say it's a terrible duty having to play host to so many people who come through your front door. I'm sure, but you do it with grace, and I think I speak for all my friends here when we thank you for your hospitality and for this remarkable salad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I will pass that on to my husband. We're just not used to such comments here, you must understand. It comes off as quite aggressive, and he's under such pressure, you realise.
Yes. McBragg is used to talking to oxen. He is not used to talking to people, and it shows.
Have you seen him become more violent recently? We speak, of course, only in our capacity as the heroes of Vallaki. Have you recently grown more concerned with his temperament? Do his duties weigh too heavily on his shoulders?
Of course,
do you
his
think
duty.
that perhaps he might be becoming a little too aggressive of late?
Aggressive? No, definitely not. I mean, he has the best wishes of everyone at heart. In fact, I must go see to him. I should not leave him by himself. I will go and see to him now. Now. And she stands to go, still quite pale, and she says, I would ask the maid to take you to your rooms, but she's gone missing recently. I'll get Martha. She will direct you. Please, can I ask, when we speak in the morning, do not challenge him like that again. He does not work well.
We will not. You have my word, madam. We will put a gag in McRagg's mouth if we have to. You can rest assured that he will not be challenged again.
Thank you.
I'll play my folk music only.
Thank you.
I stand up and I bow. And I say, as one lord to a lady, I vow the same, and also encourage you with a roll of 19 to share with us anything that we can do to specifically help your husband with his duties, or any fears that you may have in general. We are here, after all, as heroes.
Please
share with us anything you feel is of importance.
Please just listen to my husband. He's a brave man. He is a wise man, and he is try so hard to protect this town despite everything that seems to be rallying against him sometimes. Please just support him and help him out. You're coming. I mean, when we heard about what you did last night, it lit a light inside him, and I could see the way the crowd reacted to you today. I've not seen him like that.
Well, why did he send us to such a common cell then?
You must understand the first report.
That was an oversight, I'm sure. An oversight. We should not interrogate this poor woman any further. Lord Talfrin, this is our hostess. We should let her go to bed, and we should just retire to our own chambers and be grateful for what we have been given tonight, which was a magnificent feast and fine company.
Very well. Very well. Good night, lady.
And the Baroness leaves.
Something smells rotten in here, and it's not my Crag.
Of course, yes.
Yes, it is me.
Yes, it's you, but also this.
It's just McCrack.
Both and.
Right,
I don't think that interrogating anyone here is going to help. I think that we should.
Sometimes you can get them to drop hints or reveal things they didn't mean to. That sets you on the right track. Like she might have said, he's very particular about his dungeon and would hate for you to go down there. Then we would know where to go.
I don't like this Baron, and I don't think we should wait here until the morning.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.